You're now live. Are you live? Or are you dead? No, I meant live, not alive. There's nobody coming in. Is nobody coming in? Oh, look at you, John. You're so good. You're straight in there. You're not a slacker. No wonder you're so brilliant at your job and what you do. Well, I just want to say, first of all, before I invite you in, I want to say hello to my peeps. It's been some day today, hasn't it, really? Sort of feel like we're getting a get out of jail card. Some freedom is there. Wow. And Meghan and Harry, big thing in this country. But I am so pleased to have a fellow escort here tonight. Somebody, I have to say, when I mentioned that this person was going to come in with me, everybody, absolutely everybody went, oh, he's great. Oh, he's so much fun. Oh, I'm going to come in. I want to see that. And you two will be a hoot together. So we've got to be funny. Are you there, John? John Scott Barrowman, this is your life. It isn't really, but let's find you, dear. Here you are. Are you there, John? How cute. By the way, I love that hair.
There's nothing I can do about it.
But you know, there are a lot of people who have grey hair. This because you know I am really. They call me at the salon the blonde police because when I went blonde, I wanted everybody to be blonde. But seriously, if you have a really beautiful color grey hair, it's fabulous. It's a blessing. But a lot of people have grey hair and it's not a great color. It's a bit dirty looking, you know.
Yeah.
Yours is like silver.
Yeah. No, I've got my dad to thank for that, and my mum, because my mum still dyes her hair. Well, no, she doesn't. Sorry, she's got completely grey hair. But they've got both great heads of hair. They're both in their 80s and thick, curly, natural grey hair. And at least I've got hair.
Honey, more than I can say for me, mine's falling out. My hair's getting thinner and thinner. It is, but women can always, you know, we can sort of hide. Why do you think I wear hats? Because it's such a hard fuss. I don't have fabulous, thick, flowing hair. I have to make it look good.
Yeah. Well,
but
you know, like Joan Collins, you know, the occasional wig.
Oh, God, the only trouble with wigs, I love them, but it depends who does them for you and who puts it on for you. I mean, if Percy puts hers on, I'm not. I don't want to
we had you'll know Jeanette Cranky, another fellow Scot.
Yes.
She was in a shopping mall once, and I know that she wears wigs, and
You didn't.
I did. I walked up to her in the shopping mall and I went, "Oi, Jeanette," and I pulled her wig off. And she just screamed, and she had a wig cap on and everything, and she was screaming. She's good, you know, good fun, obviously. And she said, "You wee bastard! I'll get you,
bitch." If I'm wearing a wig and I see you out the corner of my eye,
run.
I'll say, I've got the wig on. Do not pull. Then everyone will know anyway. But I won't have to look disgusting. But your hair is something, and I am slightly hair obsessed. I mean, you've kind of got similar hair to my ex-husband. His is now absolutely white, and he's also got lots of thick hair.
Yeah, no, I've got this funny skunk. I call it the reverse skunk.
I like
normally, if you had dark hair, my mum used to have dark hair in the in the 70s. She had it, and she had a skunk streak white one put in.
Right.
Yeah, and that was all the trend and the fashion, and then all of a sudden I've got the grey hair with a black skunk streak, and you know,
fabulous.
Listen. Like I said, it's hair, and it took a wee bit of getting used to, and also the fact that, you know, people, even, you know, I call them my fan family and everybody, you know, about it. I said to Scott when I turned 50, I'm going to shave my head, shave all the dark off, and let it grow through and see what it looks like. So it was very short to begin with. And Scott, you know, he said to me, "I'm not really sure if I'm ready for this yet." So I was like, okay, it's not about you, it's about me. And so I let it grow for a wee bit.
Yeah.
and it started to come through and it started looking really nice. Now, I figured for work, they can dye my hair for work if they want to. They
And
can
they do,
paint it.
don't they?
Yeah, they do, and I did that for when I went back into Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They literally painted stuff in, and but they put a washout, I don't like a semi-permanent color in it, and then because I don't think I want someone to put a long-term color in it again. It takes too long to grow out, and
Grow out. So how fantastic that you can do that. You literally paint your hair, you do your gig, you come off, you wash it, and fabulous.
it does take about 5 or 6 washes to get rid of it, because that was when they use an alcohol. What was it? They mixed alcohol with shampoo. Something, can't mind. It was a weird thing, and I said, "You can't put that in my hair." They said, "You have to do that because it washes the paint out. Otherwise, it's going to take days upon days for this to come out." So,
and then your hair won't look that beautiful silver. It would look like a dirty grey.
You
anyway,
look like you've got
enough for the hair ads. We should be doing hair ads here.
Come on, no, you know we should get a deal.
I can talk. Listen, I can talk hair. I mean, that's what I want to be. Not like you.
Really?
Unlike you. You, when you were young, wanted to. Obviously, am I right saying you wanted to
I've
get
never
straight into the business?
You know, and going back, and you'll know what I'm talking. You had left and gone to London by the time I was discovering my musicality. We'll put it that way, right? I'm not saying you're older than me or anything like that.
I thought you were going to say born.
No, because people don't know this, but my brother hung out with your brother, and yes, yeah.
Oh, Billy?
No, is it Gordon? Yeah, yeah. And see, people who are watching this, I'm going to just give a wee bit of a retrospective here. Lulu and I grew up in the same part of outside of Glasgow, Mount Vernon. Your parents lived. My dad actually designed the extension for your mum and dad's house up. You know, up. We used to say up the road, but you know, up the street. And my brother hung out with Gordon before we moved to the States, and
this is so fun.
Yeah, and I didn't know who Lulu was, because I was you know, just a kid at that time, and but there was always the talk about this girl who had gone, you know, and made her, you know, the Glasgow girl done good and gone off and to London and recording artist. And my first you know, then when I'm jumping around here, but when I started realizing that I wanted to be in musicals, or I wanted to be a performer, and from a very, very young age, it was always in the back of the head, you know, talking, because you also were friends with, and you knew David Bowie very well, right? And all of that stuff, my sister was a Bowie fan. So all of this, and the talk of you in the house and all that kind of thing, there was always that element of you in the background. Now jump to when I was first on Live and Kicking.
Yes.
You were my first interview ever. You'd come on, and they said, right, we're going to, because of the Scottish connection. And if people go back and look at that interview, I actually spoke Scottish with you way before I spoke with like Lorraine Kelly or anybody else, and explained it there and then. But you were my first interview when I started on television in Live and Kicking many, many years ago.
So we have a history.
We do have a history, and it's a history that it's almost like it's a fate history, because we never met when we were younger, but we came from the same place, and we both followed the same kind of passion in our careers and music and entertainment. And here we are sitting in lockdown on a camera on Instagram.
I love this. You know, I did not know, because really and truly, I didn't come from Mount Vernon. I lived in Denniston.
Yes.
That was me buying my mummy and daddy a posh bungalow.
Yes.
So I would go to Mount Vernon when I came to Glasgow, but that is amazing.
Yep.
You know, I didn't really know that Gordon was friendly with your brother and all that.
Yeah.
How fantastic is that?
So there you go.
So I love you even more. I mean, you know, you have had an amazing career. as I have myself had a kind of an amazing career.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm always glad when somebody does well and someone continues to do well, or they go away and they come back. I'm always cheering them on. But I can't help it. When you're Scottish, I somehow feel kind of proud, as if you're my family.
Oh
I
yeah.
just feel there's more of a connection, you know. I mean, I feel like I'm a child of the universe, you know. I'm not, you know, I can go anywhere, and I have friends, and I
You can
enjoy
blend in.
where travel, and I enjoy working wherever I go. But I will never be anything but Scottish. If anybody says to me, "Oh, because a little bit like you," I mean, where does this accent of yours? It sort of changes, right?
Well, yeah,
Like
I
mine.
don't, I speak Scottish with only Scottish people because I feel that
Exactly. Exactly.
nobody else is privileged enough to have it. Um, and I get, there's been flack over the years about it, but I actually don't care because, as you said, no one can take away the pride that we have in being Scottish. And there's always something, and you'll understand this, and other people who have done it. My family moved to the States when I was in 1976, and it was because of my dad's job. So we went, and my mum and dad were trying to do something better for the family, and they did, and they made the right decision. And I would never be where I am today without that decision. However, when
Right.
we left Scotland, you actually become more proud of
Scottish.
Scotland and more Scottish and Scottish things than you probably are when you're there.
I think it's true. It's kind of like, well, for me anyway, you look at it from a distance and you have some sentimental feelings about things.
Oh,
Some other things you're glad you left them behind. But to
the
be
rain.
absolutely honest with you, when you meet somebody, you meet a kindred spirit, and then when you talk, like you say, in the very thick Glasgow accent, well, I do it with my
Aye.
sister all the time. But when you do that, it's like you have your own language in a way, because other people go, "What did you say? What was that?" You know,
Yeah,
I used to get annoyed with people when I came to London to start with, when I used to talk very, 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 very fast like that.
yeah.
I'm going up the street, you come with me, they go, "Pardon me, could you say that again?" And I used to go,
Oh,
you know, oh,
yeah. No, I got to, it was because I was bullied when I went to the States. And
oh,
I knew when I was younger. Listen, I've known all along that there was something. I wasn't the same as all the other boys in the sense that I didn't want. I wanted to play games with them, and I wanted to play, basketball or football or that kind of stuff. But I also wanted to hang out with the girls, and I wanted to style my best friend's hair before we went on the
right,
bus to school in the States. And I knew that I was going to be bullied kind of for that. I didn't know what the word gay was at the time, had no clue. I just
right,
knew I felt
right,
different, right?
right.
And the accent, kids were making fun of me because of the accent, and I wasn't going to be bullied for that. So I had that same girl that I feathered her hair. Her name was Laura Mickey. She taught me how to speak American, and that's why I do it. And there may be something psychological even now that there's a defense mechanism that is there. I like to think I'm comfortable with who I am. I love to have a laugh. I don't really care what people think. If they like me, they like me. If you don't, turn the channel. That's what I say. Just turn me off. But the fact is that I think there might be something under there. But if I don't know, it's
It's
just
interesting.
it's part of who I am. And if you don't like it, you can
Love
hush up.
that. I love it. Well, you know, I always wanted to please everybody. I mean, I used to put on a miserable face like I was tough, but really inside, I was always a wee bit frightened, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
So I had a very good front, in other words. But I can change my accent, and I think that now that I'm so goddamn old, I think now whatever I have done and what I still do, partly is to feel connected. I want to
yeah,
be connected to everybody. I want to feel connected. I don't want to feel separate. I don't want to be different. And I
yeah,
always felt different and I didn't want it. So I was happy, really, even though I complained, to change my accent when I did To Sow With Love. And I just I went into, I talk like that, because I didn't want to be like everybody else talk like that. So
yeah.
what was I going to talk like that? Mm-mm-mm-mm. So I just myself, nobody asked me to speak with an English accent. And I sort of felt more a part of the team. And I
Right.
think I sometimes drop into an accent because I really love them. The actress in me likes to do accents.
Yeah.
And I think I do it to connect with people. Although I've been told that's very offensive. People don't like the way you
Yeah,
imitate
no,
an accent.
there's some. The one thing, well, my mum used to, when we first went to the States and we'd be in the supermarket or something, and someone would mimic my mum talking.
Yes.
My mother used to, and we always used, that was something we used to always step back. We'd go, oh God, she's going to go. She used to look, if it was someone like at the checkout counter or something, and the woman or the man checking out would say to, mimic the accent, my mum would just go, excuse me, dear? And we were like, okay, back off. Mum said, excuse me, dear. She's about to fly off the handle. And you could see the person start to try to say it again. And we as kids were going, no,
Mrs. Don't do that because you're going to get the bad end of the stick.
You're going to get battered by a Chanel handbag any second.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Anyway, it's so great, though, to be able to talk to someone like yourself, who I actually haven't seen you for years, person to person. But I love that you initially, you liked, excuse me, gay boys like musicals.
Oh, yeah.
Of course that's just a given. But you actually liked musicals. That's what you wanted. Where I was into rock and roll and stuff like that. I was a wee bit of a tomboy, let's face it. But so you went into musicals to start with.
Yeah, it was.
You were actually, were you nominated for an Olivier?
I was nominated for Olivier for a show I did that was directed by Sam Mendes at the Donmar Warehouse. Just wee name there. And it was called The Fix, and I played a heroin, cocaine addicted, sex addicted young politician who had a wife and a mistress, and I also, to manipulate my uncle who was in a wheelchair, had sex with him every now and then. And that was the character, really. And I remember
not
one night,
two-dimensional, but
very, very boring character. And very dull to play. And I remember one night in a performance, and we were still in previews, and Sam came back to the dressing room and he said to me, you've got it down, you know what you're doing. He said, I want you to do something that shocks me tonight. I want you to shock me. And I thought, okay. So I had really done a lot of research in this for this character. I'd gone to clinics to meet with people who were addicts. I had gone to and talked with them about how they did it, and how they would shoot up and all that kind of stuff. And I knew where I was going to shock Sam. And there was a point where after in the preview, I was trying to get the drugs, the heroin, from my uncle who was holding it from me. So I just had the scene where I'd sung to my uncle, seduced him in the wheelchair, and had sex with him. And I then finished, and I got into the next scene because it was kind of a flowing through scene. And in the next scene, I'm standing in my underwear because I've just finished doing the deed with my uncle, and I have the drugs. I have the deed. I have the drugs. I have everything, and I literally, this is my shock moment. I pulled my pants down, and I grabbed my tackle, and I pulled it to the side, and I injected in my crotch area. Well, I just heard this, like thuds on the ground. People passed out. People, people so shocked because of my big, huge wang. No, I'm just kidding. My wee Willy Wonka. They were shocked, and it was the shock of the whole thing. Anyway, finished the show. Sam was there, and Cameron. I think Cameron was there, or he was. Cameron McIntosh, and he was, or he'd heard about it, and he was at the preview, and Sam came back and went, brilliant, great, that was shocking. And Cameron, off the cuff said, yes, dear, he's done it. We've seen all his bits now. He can put them away. Don't do it again.
Do that again.
They wanted the audience members to see the rest of the show, not collapse.
I have to say, with all the things that were in your character, I can't believe that he really meant that you could do something else that would be shocking. But
correct.
You're very inventive, right? Very inventive.
Well, you have to be, and that was, I call it just living on the edge. The what?
Especially being asked that by him, because you think you've seen everything.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is and you know, as when a director asks you to do something, part of our job is to either interpret what they're doing or make what they've asked you to do, let them think that you're doing it, or right,
Right.
or you know, and again, as we talked about earlier, it's a pleasing kind of thing. You're actually trying to please them with what they're asking you to do in that aspect to a certain
Of
extent.
course you are.
So anytime a director says for me to do something, or if I'm asked to, even if it's a dance move in a musical, or you know, a choreographer is that telling me to do something, that is my job to interpret it and make it come to life. So when you ask me to do something that'll shock or something crazy, I have no problem doing it.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you know, the other thing about you is, I think you could get away with murder.
No,
And I
I'm no
mean that in the
Donald.
best.
I'm no
I mean,
Donald Trump.
you're nothing like Donald Trump. I'm sorry. You are nothing like Donald Trump. But I mean that in the best sense,
Yeah, no, I
because
know.
you have got a very winning way. Like I said, everybody was thrilled that you were going to be on tonight. Everybody loves you. They say you're fun. People who work with you say you're fun. And you're, you know, you've got kind of like a special, some people have a light that shines out them. And you have that. You have that. You've got that personality.
Well, I
You've
appreciate
got
that.
that gift, you know. And I wondered when you went from because musicals, of course, it's acting and it's, but taking on serious parts as an actor, just as a thesp, did you make the decision to go into, or do you just want to do both?
No, I
Everything?
just wanted to do both, and I'd always had the we've always, you know, musical theatre people have always been told that they're not actors or actresses, and I used to get very angry at that, because we're actually, people are going to give me shit for this, we're actually more talented, because we can
Because you can
not
do
only
both.
we can interpret the character and interpret the emotion and the feeling, not only through dialogue but through song and through dance.
Yeah.
And that
And
is
but
and
often,
it's like, you know, it's like being an athlete.
yes, versatile,
So
very versatile. And
so
and
the
I
only
but you're what is really meaning to ask, are you going to go back and do another musical? Are you going to stay with, you, you don't mind?
I
I
don't
can
mind
read
at
them your
all.
mind,
No, I
okay?
don't. Listen, I I love television. I love doing television. There is it's funny. More people will see you on television than they will in one night than they will see you in a lifetime of performing in the theatre.
And a
Now
three-year
that,
run, exactly.
yeah, and then that's not why I did it. I mean, I just I love the business that I am in, and when I'm asked to do something, whether it's a big job or whether it's a smaller job, I have no problem doing that, because the one thing, I got into this business to work, and become a working actor, or you know, a working entertainer.
Yeah.
And I will do there's stuff in there's talk in the pipeline, because I really want to bring a show back that I did
Oh,
a wee while back. I would love to do a revival of La Cage, and I'd love to do it also not only just in the West End, but I'd love to take it on tour throughout the UK, do Europe when all this clears up, and also a tour in the States possibly, because I know that the fan base that I've built through television want to see me in theatre, and they want to
great
see me do a
idea, then.
show.
Great
So
idea. You
yeah,
must have, I mean, you must love the fact, I mean, during this whole COVID thing, the big problem has been for artists is that, you know, especially for musicians, no work. I mean, theaters,
nothing.
no, oh my God.
No,
I mean, you must be grateful to be working.
well, I'm grateful. I say this honestly. It's been a year from doing Dancing on Ice, being a judge last year, to doing it now, that I've done anything. I've been doing things to keep myself busy. I've all of the stuff that I had been doing television wise, that was in the pipeline, concert wise, show wise, convention wise, everything literally stopped. And
Hello?
yeah, and it's been the worst. We've tried to put a positive spin on it by trying to do other things.
Yeah.
However, I have to say honestly, it's been the hardest, and it's been the most difficult for those of us who've always been busy and kept busy. to all of a sudden to be doing nothing. I literally,
Crazy.
I cleaned cupboards, I moved, I organized things. And when that was done, I thought, right, what am I going to do now? Do I go for a drive? Yeah, I'll go for a drive. But what we're going to do, what am I going to do after? And it just became a day after day. And it was literally, I started getting nitpicky. I started getting a bit angry. I started getting a bit bitchy with Scott in times. And I actually said to him at one point, I have to go see somebody. I have to go talk to somebody who is not you, who's not my mum and dad, who's not family, because
outside your bubble.
Yeah. And so I actually, I called my GP in the States, because I was in America, obviously. I called my doctor and I said, look, and he's also a friend. I said, I need to speak to somebody because it's, as we say in Scotland, it's doing my head in. Yeah, and I need to speak.
That's why so many, and it's a serious note, but it's absolutely a fact of life.
Yeah.
There's been so much suicide.
Yeah.
Very young people, children at school are depressed. So that's also today with the news, because I have grandchildren. I am so happy.
Great relief.
That it's just, the door has opened just a little bit. I mean, thank God there's going to be, I mean, I've got no I can't do anything really, but I've been writing with my brother, thank God. And I've been working with an acting coach. Been working
you have?
with Leon Yanni doing, oh my God, the other day I did the Glass Menagerie. 5 of us on Zoom. I played Amanda. I mean, it's a godsend, you know, to have Zoom. I mean, if you'd have said to me 4 years ago, we'll be doing everything on Zoom, I'd have gone, what?
Yeah.
Who? Zoom?
Yeah.
Who's Zoom? So there's been a lot of, but it's been very tough for everybody, and you found it very difficult. So
yeah, no, I found it difficult, and I didn't voice that to a lot of people because I didn't want them to worry. Yes. And I've always been somebody who takes care.
Somebody just said they've lost 6 people since March.
Oh, that's horrible.
I mean,
horrible. I mean, we've lost, you know, the people. I know people who've taken their lives. I know people who've lost it to COVID, all that kind of stuff, and it's been a really horrible time. But the fact is, if you need help, and like I said, I tried to sort it myself, but I needed to talk to somebody, so I went and talked to a professional, and I was doing it once a week. And it really, really made a huge difference.
Well, that is very good for people to, I think that's really important, because the old way of thinking was, oh, you know, we'll have to sort it ourselves, or we shouldn't really let anybody know. There's a lot of shame.
There's nothing wrong with not being okay.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with it. And if you have somebody that you can, like, you know, and after this conversation, I feel I could text you and say, Lulu, do you have a minute? I just need to talk to somebody. I need to vomit how I feel right now to get it out. And, you know, you could just sit on the other phone and go, and it's not for me to say, make it better or try to make it better. Right. It's just to get it out. And then I'd say, thanks for listening.
Let me speak. Would you please listen to me? And I mean, I've even got a thing now where I'm not great at it, but I can say, I said to somebody, when you want me to just listen, you have to just start the conversation. Can I just tell you something? And I don't need you to fix it. And I don't need you to say anything. Will you just listen to me? That is a great thing. And I'm saying that because I really think we need more and more and more and more of that. And my sister is a therapist. So I thank God I can use it, but she's my sister.
Yeah, that's
you know, sometimes you have to go outside your bubble. But I think today it's been so difficult for so many people that I'm so glad, and especially, you know, young people, to get out. When you're older like me, you know, it's not quite the same, although it hasn't been easy.
I text a friend just as before I was coming on, and he owns a gym here in Cardiff, which I use, which is shut down, and his life has stopped. And I text him and I said, "What?
You're in Cardiff?"
Yeah, no, I haven't. We have a.
I didn't even know where you were.
No, I am in Cardiff.
I didn't even know that.
I'm in Cardiff.
You're done by year. That's the only thing I can say with a real
Scott is in London at one of our flat that we rent in London. He's staying there because he's seeing his mum and dad, and he's in one bubble. I'm here in this and trying and staying here because I'm doing the dancing on ice.
Of course, I didn't even thought about the fact that.
So we can't, we couldn't stay together and be in all these and doing all that blah, blah, blah. But
Is
anyway,
Scott, is Scott, is he American or is he
he's
British?
English from Hertfordshire.
No, I thought he was American.
No.
Well, just because you live there, I suppose.
I know.
I suppose.
But I was saying to that friend of mine, Owen, and my fans know him as Jim Boy. Owen. I said to him, there's a light at the end of a very depressing tunnel, and we need to see that light. And as soon as they've said that things are opening up, so there is. Everybody just stick with it. You know, we will get through it, but talk, 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 talk.
Yeah, very important to share and don't feel shame. And also, you know, some people, it is that shame thing that we hold on to, and also fear that we'll be judged right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No,
also, I
I've
wanted
said
to
that.
ask you one small thing. You probably have no feelings about it one way or another, about Harry and Meghan. Do you have any feelings about that? Do you have any views?
Yeah, I do. I feel that I think it's sad that Harry is left.
It is sad. I know it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what about their life. We're sad that he's gone.
Yeah, we're sad, but you know, and we have to. I will never. I won't understand. We won't understand why they did what they did, but we have to allow people to live their life, live the lives they want. I just for me personally, my personal thing, I just felt the way in which they did it, it was a bit disrespectful to the Queen.
Well,
That's
that
just
last
me.
comment, that
Huh?
comment about service.
Yeah.
You don't have no. You don't. You don't talk back to the Queen. That's the key.
No,
Yes,
I
it's
think and people are saying that, you know, Meghan's getting a bad rap. Well, that might be so, but there was probably a better way. They both could have done what they did without making. I just felt sorry for the Queen. I really did. I really did, and I wish them all the luck. You know, and hope I would love to meet them one day. I'd love to, you know, cross paths with them and you know, say hello and stuff. But I just think that I'm not sure how it's going to go after this Oprah interview that is coming out. Or, I mean,
I don't want to watch it. I mean, honestly, another thing I can't watch right now. I love Britney Spears. I have always loved Britney Spears.
I watched it and I just
Free Britney. That's what I want to say to everybody.
yeah,
but I cannot watch it. It's too painful for me. Also, I suppose not that I was ever a Britney Spears, but I was a child. You know.
oh come on, you were big. You are big. It's the pictures that got small.
A lot of her stuff, like for instance, when she got married very young, I said I totally understand it. Morris Gibb and I got young basically because we were lonely. So I get it. But anyway, I think our time's up, but we can blather. You know what we have to
listen,
do? We have to do a show together, and then we can blather.
I have to say this to you, that two of my favorite songs, one of my best friends in California, Brett, is a massive fan of yours and To Sir With Love, and I love To Sir With Love. Yeah. Also, one of the songs that I really want to record, and I'd love if I ever do it, Lulu, I would love for you to do like a duet. A duet or a cameo. One of my utmost favorite songs of yours is Best of Both Worlds.
Do you know, I think that was #1 in California, not in the East Coast, but the West.
Yeah, I love it. And because I want to do the twist. I've always wanted to do the twist on it, and then I'll shut up, where it's a guy singing about a woman and a man.
Yes.
And bring another modern twist to it, and you could be the woman, and then there could be another man.
You know I'll do it. I love to anybody asks me to sing, I'm there. But the other thing is, you must have watched It's a Sin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, the Russell T is, you know, dear to me. Russell wrote Doctor Who, all that, and also the guy who the main character, I guess, is loosely based on. We all knew in the West End, Dursley. You know, it's just too close to not be. And Russell might disagree or tell me I'm wrong, but all the stuff where he's from, the Doctor Who references, the theatre references, the musicals, and Dursley, you know, was somebody that we all knew and was fought like hell to stay alive after he had the disease. And the one thing, Lulu, you and I, we all know how it decimated and wrecked a lot of young, beautiful men and women who died from it, and but Dersley, and watching that, it just brought back so many memories and showed how people just didn't take it seriously. They didn't take it seriously, and it just decimated. And when boys would say they were going home, that was the code. You're going. Where have they gone? They've gone home, and we knew right away. There was,
and he used that.
I did a show called Matador, and
yes, I remember.
There was the dressing room had there was, I think, 6 boys in the dressing room, and only one of them has survived to this day. And that's the kind of thing that happened, and those boys all passed like boom, fell like cards, boom, 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 one after the other. Sad. So if you haven't seen It's a Sin, watch it. It's a really it's beautiful, it's sad, it's uplifting.
Watch it again and again and again and again. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's going to walk away with every award ever. But we've got to go.
Okay. I'll shut up.
Love you. Have a great time in Cardiff.
Love you too. Thank you.
Let's find a project. We'll do the project, and then we can just talk and talk and talk.
I'm gonna have a wee word with someone.
All right, and you let me know about the whenever you do the song. We'll do it. I'll do it for you. No problem. It'll be fun.
Great. Okay.
It's all about having fun. All right, baby.
That's it.
Bless your
heart.
Lots of
love.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for asking me. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, loves.